All right, shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all being in this episode of The Coma. I'm Big Q, chiming in with the latest on the black and gold, man. Y'all hit that like button, hit the sub button, and share button as we get going in this broadcast, man. Listen, Saints make a move today as reported. Ian Rappaport, inside several of the reports, have said early on that Brandin Cooks, who was a possible trade target before the deadline, has been released. And the two sides agreed on this, and now he heads to waivers. Now, a couple of reports indicate that B. Cooks is ultimately looking for a spot with the Steelers or the Bills. But anyway, he's looking for a competing team to join. And the Saints decided to, hey, man, let's just go ahead on and cut bait and move on. It has not been the season the Saints have been expected in terms of production from Brandin Cooks coming back, and it just hadn't worked out. So the fortunate for the Saints said to just cut bait as they are looking to kind of streamline this offense, so to speak, and look to other players, younger players involved in this move. So anyway, let's kind of get into it. In this move, they talked about with Brandin Cooks now officially out of here. This is the release that came via the Saints website here that talked about it, that the Saints announced that they are signing Kevin Austin Jr. from the practice squad to the active roster, and they signed wide receiver Jaquan Jackson to the practice squad, and they are waiving Brandin Cooks. So that's some of it. We all know about Kevin Austin Jr., 6'2", 200 pounds, originally an undrafted guy from Jacksonville Jaguars back in 2022 draft out of Notre Dame. We spent time on the practice squad. We've seen some positive production from him. Last year, playing in some games, making some good catches, and ultimately we're looking to kind of bring Kevin Austin to the active roster and see what the young player has to offer the Saints offense. So we keep this thing moving. So in 2024, after spending the first 8 weeks on the practice squad, he will step onto the Saints active roster on the Saints offense. Another weapon after injuries to fellow wide receiver Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed being shipped out. Chris Olave stepping up and having a big time as he's rumored to be working on an extension. We'll see what's going on with that as well. Now, Jaquan Jackson is the wide receiver from Tulane, a local product, 5'9", speedster. 188 pounds, returns home after originally be selected by the Titans in the 6th round back in the 2024 draft out of Tulane. The Luling native serving as a special team ace right there in terms of his return capabilities, playing in 12 games, posting a career high 28 punts for 215 yards, 16 kick returns, and 412 yards. He caught a pass as well. Very speedy guy, was very productive in 55 games with the Green Wave, 109 catches, over 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns, and on special teams returned 60 punts for almost 700 yards and had a return for a touchdown. He had 36 kickoffs for over 700 yards during his season. So he finished the season with 26 catches, 439, and 4 touchdown catches, earning all ACC third team honors as a punt returner after bringing back 9 punts for 110 yards. So this was a positive step as they get a speedster and a return man that kind of helped them moving forward. So shout out to that move. And of course, the Saints have, since the trade deadline, have made some moves to kind of reconstruct the offense and attempt to kind of move it in a position where things look a lot favorable for Tyler Shough as we line up for this Atlanta game. So anyway, this is a depth chart look at the Saints offense. You see Tyler right there with Elvin, Devin Neal, Aldrick Estime's there, Chris Olave, Devon Valley, and Mason Tipton are now your 3 top wide receivers. Mason Tipton gets in there. It's a speedster who has sure hands, can run good routes. We're good to see him get there. And of course, you guys know we just talked about Kevin Austin Jr. being elevated to the active roster. Trey Palmer and Jalen Polk are in Bub Means as well. They're still on the IR. Of course, the Saints could use Taysom Hill in the receiving role as well. Elvin in that role. They got a lot of room to kind of move around and do things that they want to do. So Tyler Shough put up a very nice game against the Carolina Panthers. The bye week coming through, and now we're about to move on to the Atlanta matchup where Shough could get his first takes of the hate week, the Saints and Falcon rivalry. That is the best in the game. And the Saints will be seeing Chris Olave, who's definitely going to get bracketed and double covered. But Devon Valley and Mason Tipton now have an opportunity to step up and play. Juwan Johnson's there. We're interested to see if we get to see more of Mitchell Payton, tight end, unless Jack Stahl, right, who's dealing with an injury. So the offensive line with Banks, Radunz, Fortner, Ruiz, and Fuaga still dealing with an injury. We'll see Asim Richards step in that thing and kind of finish up. So the offense kind of getting younger as Kellen Moore trying to, build something special here. We need to see what we got Devon Valley heading into this upcoming draft, right? But anyway, let's take a look at the injury report while I got you guys here. 6 players on the Saints Wednesday injury report. Mr. Cooks, of course, we know he was released. You can see Tyler Shough still dealing with a high ankle sprain. DMP wouldn't surprise me if it was for this week. Elvin Kamara limited with that ankle. Chris Olave was dealing with an ankle, but he's all good. Jake Stahl was an ankle as well. He's good. Barry Wesley has been fully practicing from a hip issue, but he is still marked as reserve injured. He has not been activated quite yet. And on the Falcons side of things, who's not hurt for the Falcons? Who is not hurt for the Falcons? Everybody's hurt. Look at this laundry list of players. We already know Michael Penix is not going to be in this game. Drake London is not going to be in this game. So their starting quarterback and their best wide receiver are down, but still in all, regardless of that, you still have to look past that, because this is a rivalry game in which we'll see, regardless of who is playing, it's still going to be a tough game. And always when we match up against this team. But look at all these injured players. Zach Harrison, Lickstrom, London, Penix, Xavier Watts, the safety, Josh Woods, they're down. Just a bunch of people dealing with injuries. And of course, limited. D'Alford, Bates is limited. Bergeron, the offensive lineman, cornerback Billy Bowman, Devon Deblo, all these guys. It's just a lot of people. Leonard Floyd, limited. All these guys. And then you got a couple of fully practiced by Mike Hughes, the cornerback. But they are dealing with a lot of issues and injuries. Some of these guys, there's rest like Jelani Walker, the linebacker, and A.J. Terrell. You see Billy Bowman dealing with rest. You see with Jesse Bates with some rest. And it's just been a long season for both the Saints and the Falcons. But hey, guess what? The Saints beat the Falcons. We switch spots with them. They go to the cellar. And I promise you, this will be one of those games like when we beat their, what's that dumb coach that they had before they hired Raheem Morris? That guy. If we beat him here, I'm pretty sure that they lose this game. They'll probably end up firing Raheem Morris. You know, we'll see how it all goes. Just my thought on that. This is their potential lineup right here with Kirk Cousins, Bijan Robinson, London's out. So you see other people stepping in their spot. So like I said, regardless of who they're missing, this is still going to be a game. No matter who they're missing, we still got to go and defend the dome and, kick the Atlanta Falcons' teeth in. You know, that's what we got to do. Regardless if we winning or not, we got to win those games, right? we got to take care of business against those teams. All right. And there's some more news, fam. Saints expect to play a game in Paris. How about that? That's some of the stuff that was dropped by Dennis Lauscher. He can't talk about the state of the team on the field, but he can tell you, hey, man, we got a game coming soon, because that's what he does. Negotiations continue between the NFL and the stadium officials in Paris. But Dennis Lauscher expects the deals to be finalized soon. You might hear in the next couple of weeks that we might have a game internationally, and that game may be in Paris. That's what Lauscher said to the Greater New Orleans Quarterback Club yesterday via Jeff Duncan. We have the rights to, the country of France and Monaco, so this makes much sense. We think we're really excited about that possibility. Paris would be a new market for the NFL. We'll see how that all goes. A report last month indicated the NFL wants 2 more international games for the 2026 already. Has confirmed the game for Australia. The commissioner, Roger Goodell, has confirmed the NFL is returning to Mexico. 9 is the current maximum for the international games under the 2023 NFL resolution that allows 8 league-operated games overseas, plus the Jaguars' annual game in London. Saints owner Gail Benson last week said the team was interested in playing a game in France and potentially conducting a mini camp or a training camp. They're working on it. Benson said we met the Prince and talked about trying to do something over there. As the Saints contingent that included Benson and Demario Davis visited Paris July to market and promote the team. A free trip with Demario to France to promote the NFL, along with Gales there. So Saints in Paris. A lot of symbology is also there with the fleur de lis on the French flag. So it makes sense for them to basically, go this route. But nonetheless, man, that's simply the business of football. And outside of that, man, this will be interesting just to see how things kind of move forward. But anyway, as far as football on the field, Brandin Cooks is gone, man. The Saints are moving on to younger wide receivers, Mason Timpton, Divine Valley. We need to see what we have here this year before potentially adding any more. Do we need any other guys in the draft? Because there are quite a few really talented wide receivers. They're talent all over the place. We need to see what we got here. We see Shough has the making of something. We got to see if he can keep this thing going for the rest of the season. How does the wide receiver situation shake out? Divine Valley, is he worth the 2 picks? We already got Jalen Polk that we gave up a pick for as well. So the time will come whether or not we'll see what these young guys can do against the Atlanta Falcons of all team in the Dome on Sunday. So with that being said, man, I'm going to get out on that. Man, I appreciate y'all for chiming in. Super short episode of The Coma. Just a quick update with the fam, man. Listen, just hollering at y'all in the middle of the week. Listen, fam, we'll be back later on in the week with more Saints content, man. But I appreciate all the family members. Shout out to you guys after a bye week. Just getting some rest, getting back to business, man, getting back rolling really good. So with that being said, I'd like to get you guys to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share, check your subscribe buttons, make sure you're subbed up to The Coma, and also feel free to share the show's links on your social media feed. Check out our links in the description section below, and also feel free to join our channel via YouTube and Patreon for unreleased content, and it's a ton of unreleased content all over the place. So with that being said, I'm Big Q. I'm gonna holler at y'all on the flip side. Much love, peace, and who dat.
Whether you're catching up on Saints news at Jackson Square, checking Pelicans scores in the Garden District, or staying updated on LSU while grabbing coffee in the French Quarter, there's one place that keeps you connected to everything that matters in our city. From Bourbon Street to the Superdome, from Preservation Hall to the Riverfront, New Orleanians are staying in the know with the WhoDatDaily.com, your daily source for Saints, Pelicans, LSU, and all the sports, music, and culture that makes our city special. At work downtown, at a game in the Dome, or just relaxing by the Mississippi, wherever life takes you in the Big Easy, you can stay connected. Because when you're from New Orleans, you don't just live here. You stay in the NO. That's stay in the know. Visit the WhoDatDaily.com and never miss what matters most to Who Dat Nation. Stay in the NO, you stay in the know.
Welcome to the Pro Shop, where we create authentic NOLA-inspired clothing for men, women, and children. From Saints jerseys to Pelicans gear, everything's crafted right here in New Orleans. Whether you're shopping the Pro Shop, the Pel Shop, or the Pro Shop Kids, we've got your whole family covered with genuine merchandise that represents our city's spirit. Check for links in the description section below.